Okay, my name's David, and I'm here to give you a lesson in the School of Life on how to change a flat tire. Now, I figured it should be as realistic as possible, so we've gone ahead and deflated our good tire, and you can see I've already taken off the spare tire, but I want to kind of really set you up right for this. And so the first thing you always need if you're going to work in the garage is music. All right, we'll turn that down just a little bit. The next thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're safe and that we have all the tools that we need ahead of time. All right, now I'm in the garage as opposed to being on the side of the road, and so I've got access to my chocks. The first thing we'll do to be safe is to chalk one of the tires that we're not putting up in the air with our jack. Okay, so I'm going to go do the front right tire, one in behind and one in front. And what that does is basically just stops the truck from rolling one way or the other when it's off balance on the jack. Now, another thing that I've got, because I'm in my garage, and I only use if I'm going to be doing a lot of work under the car or under the truck, is this brake stand. And I'm not going to be using it today, but I just want to show you what it's like. There are some certain points, depending on which vehicle you've got, that you can put this under as extra safety and just protection in case something goes badly with the jack. Now, today we're going to be taking the tire, the old tire, the flat tire off, and putting on the spare. Now, the spare will be in a different spot for you maybe than it is for me. With our Honda Pilot, it's actually attached by a cable under the back, under the bottom, and you have to crank it out. And so I went ahead and got that out, but yours could be hanging from the back, it could be under like kind of the back flap or whatever. You should just know where it is before you get into trouble. And anyways, I've gone ahead and brought that out, so that's ready to put on. So here we go. We're going to change this tire. We've got the front wheel already chalked and safe there. And before I even put it up on the jack, I'll show you the jack in a second, I'm going to use a breaker bar. Because the truck is as safe as it's going to be right now on the ground, I'm going to use this breaker bar, which is basically a big socket wrench that is meant for getting lots of torque. I haven't changed this tire for a while, so it could be really tight. And I'm just going to loosen all 5 of the nuts on the tire. All right. So give me a second while I do that. I just did the first one. What I like to do, just as a practice, is I like to go in a pattern when I tighten and loosen the nuts. I started with this one, and so now I'm going to skip one and go to here. Then I'm going to skip one, go to there, skip one, go to here, and finish with this one over here. All right, here we go. This one. There we go. So we've just kind of taken the initial, broken the seal, we've made it a little bit looser, so it's going to be easier once I've got it up on the jack to deal with. Now, again, I'm using a breaker bar, but I want to just pause for a second, get out of the back what you might have for your car or truck. Just a second. Okay, call this a tire iron, and this usually comes with your jack set in your car. This is the one that came with our Honda Pilot, and it's good, it'll do the job, but I know that my breaker bar will get it done even better. So if you're building a tool set, a breaker bar is a good tool to add to that tool set. All right, So we've got the nuts loosened. Now it's time to jack up the truck. So I'm going to show you first of all what the jack is. And mine comes in 3 parts. You've already seen the tire iron, which we're going to use. I don't even know what you call this thing, a shepherd's crook or something. This is going to be another part that's going to help to rotate the jack up into the air. And basically what's going to happen is I'm going to put this securely on the ground, put this in here, and then this fits in there as well. And by twisting it, it's going to elevate the jack. Now I actually have a jack that I use in the garage as well, but this one is good for my truck because it goes a little bit higher, and you'll see that it's a little bit higher in the end. But it's very, very important that you find the right spot, the right spot to put your jack under. You can't just put it under any part of your truck or your car, or it could actually break your car. It could crinkle the siding of your car, or it could do some damage underneath. So this is a point where if you're with an adult, or if you are an adult, consult your manual to find the part that you should be jacking under. All right? So I'm going to go ahead, I know where my spot is, I'm going to go ahead and raise my truck up. Now, 2 things I want to show you here. You'll notice 2 things. First of all, I took the crank mechanisms off of the jack while I'm not jacking it up. It's just that if something were to go wrong, if it started to spin or whatever, I've never had it happen to me before, you don't want this flying all over the place and hurting you. So I took that out. Second, you never want to crank this any higher than you have to. All right, the lower it is, the safer you are. So I'm going to try and get it just high enough that my tire's off the ground. It looks like I need a little bit more cranking, but I'll be done in just a second. All right, I've got maybe 1 centimeter of space between my tire and the ground. So it's up high enough that I can take the nuts off and take the tire off. So I don't really need the breaker bar now. In fact, it might even be loose enough that I can use my fingers, but I'm going to use the tire iron so you can see how that works. Now, my dad taught me this when I was young. You never want to lose these. So I'm always very careful about where I put the nuts. So I've got my breaker bar right here. I'm just going to line them up real neat by my breaker bar. And then I'm going to take the other ones off. Just like that, I got the tire off. I'm now going to put it safely out of my way. Just roll it over here and lay it flat. All right, so I've got the tire off. I don't want to spend too much time with my truck jacked up in the air, goofing around, but another lesson for another day is this is actually a great chance to check out your brake pads. There's a little window back here that you can take a peek and see how much wear is left on your brake pads, but that's another lesson for another time. For now, I'm just going to put my spare on, and I'm going to hand tighten the nuts real quick. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the spare on right now. And what I'm going to do is, while I've got it up there, I'm going to actually get one of these nuts close so I can get this one nut on just to make sure it stays in place. Then I'm going to hand tighten the rest of the nuts. Here we go. Okay, so we've got it hand tightened. This is now going to be fine for me to lower the jack and have this tire bear the weight. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to twist it down, and here we go. Okay, now, you don't want to do what I've done a couple of times and leave it like this. I may be strong, but these nuts are not on tight enough to drive on. So I'm going to just grab my breaker bar again and tug them nice and snug. I won't do them as tight as I would do my full-time wheels, because I know I'm going to take this off as soon as I get this tire pumped full of air. And so I'm just going to do it fairly tight. Now, gotta remember to unchock my tires. We'll do that right now. And just like that, you've changed the tire. Now, it says right on the tire it's for temporary use only. And you'll see it's a lot wimpier looking than my regular tire. So this is really only meant to help you out in this emergency, to go get your tire fixed or replaced, get the proper tire back on, and put this so we can help you another day. But that's all for today. You have visited and completed the course in the School of Life. I hope this comes in handy someday, even if it's only on YouTube while you're on the side of the road. Until later, God bless you. Wait, I almost forgot to tell you one thing. And again, this doesn't apply to every vehicle, but I just remembered that I lowered my spare from the back, and so there's this cable hanging down, and it's super important that I put that cable back up before I start driving my truck. So I'm going to go do that now, but that's just for me to do. In the meanwhile, go enjoy yourself, and if you're ever in trouble, you know how to change a tire. God bless.